there, bit of work on fractions today. It's a bit of a revision topic. Hopefully it won't be too difficult for you. 3 over 6, what does that mean? It means 3/6. It means 3 divided by 6. Can we simplify that fraction? Think about it. Can we simplify that fraction? Yes, we can. 3 goes into 3 one time. 3 goes into 6 2 times. It simplifies to a half. This should be striking memories, hopefully, with most of you. Similarly, 11 over 4. Can we simplify that? Well, what's that? It's a top-heavy fraction, isn't it? It's actually going to be a value of more than 1. How many times does 4 go into 11? It goes into 11 2 whole times. So it goes in 2 whole times, but that still leaves us with 3 quarters, 3/4 left. So that simplifies, that top-heavy fraction simplifies to 2 3/4. Fundamentally, if you can deal with those 2 pages that I've just very quickly gone through, the rest of the lesson is going to be very straightforward. The rest of the presentation is going to be very straightforward for you. Going back the other way, 2/3. What have I done to the 3 to make it up to a 12? What have I done to increase the value of 3 up to 12? I've multiplied it by 4. So I've multiplied by 4 across the bottom. I don't change the value of that fraction as long as I do the same thing to the top. So if I multiply across the top by 4, 2 times 4 is 8. So 2/3 becomes 8 over 12. And if we went back the other way, how many times does 4 go into 8? 2 times. How many times does 4 go into 12? 3 times. Similarly, what have I done to the 5 to increase it up to 20? Going that way, I've multiplied by 4. What do I have to multiply by 4 to get up to 8? Going back the other way, I divide by 4. 2. 2 multiplied by 4 would take me up to 8, the same way that 5 multiplied by 4 takes me up to 20. So 8 divided by 4, the opposite operation to multiplication is division, takes me back to 2. Again, if you can understand that, the rest of the presentation is going to be easy for you. Take time to make sure you do understand what's happened there. A few examples. I'll just go through a few of these for you, just to help you out. 4 increasing in value to 12, I've multiplied by 3. 3 times 3 would give me a 9 on top. Think about doing some of these examples for yourself, so you can freeze frame. Do some of these examples for yourself, make sure that you understand what's going on, and then I'll go through some examples on the board. Some of these ones down at the bottom are going to be more difficult, and I'll raise up the board so that you can get access to those slightly more difficult examples there. Okay, so take time to have a go at some of these examples for yourself, and I'll go through a few of them just to help you out. Okay, second example, what have I done to 3 to get it up to 6? I've multiplied it by 2. 2 multiplied by 2 would give me 4. What have I done to 5 to get it up to 25? I've multiplied by 5. 4 multiplied by 5 gives me 20. So let's jump down and do some other examples slightly differently set up. 4 multiplied by what gives 16? 4 multiplied by 4 gives me 16. So 5 multiplied by 4 gives me 20. It's just a missing number in a slightly different position. 1 is increased in value to 7. What have I done? I've multiplied the 1 by 7. 6 multiplied by 7 would give me 42. Going on to the next line. 2 multiplied by what gives me 6? 2 multiplied by 3 gives me 6. What multiplied by 3 gives me 21? That would be a 7 in there. 7 multiplied by 3 gives me 21. 9 multiplied by what gives me 27? 9 multiplied by 3 gives me 27. 6 divided by 3, 2. Let's have a look at some of the slightly more difficult examples. It's just bigger numbers really down here. 37 multiplied by 2 gives me 74. 15 multiplied by 2 gives me 30. Still the same process, just slightly more difficult numbers. 2 multiplied by 19 gives me 38. 3 multiplied by 19 gives me what? 57. Just slightly more difficult numbers. 12 multiplied by what gives me 84. 12 multiplied by 7 gives me 84. 35 divided by 7 will give me 5 on top. So hopefully you can see the process that makes those calculations work. What about that? 2 3/4. 2 whole ones. How many quarters have you got in each whole one? You've got 4 in each whole one. You've got 2 whole ones. So 4 multiplied by 2 gives me 8. 8 quarters. I've got 3/4 there, so 11 quarters. Yeah, you remember we did a very similar calculation earlier on in the presentation. 4 multiplied by 2 gives me 8. So I've got 8 quarters, add the 3/4 I started off with, 11 quarters. Cancelling fractions down, just to make sure you understand that. 200 by 300, 200 divided by 300, what can we do? We can cancel down, can't we? Divide top by 100, divide the bottom by 100, and we end up with 2 over 3. What goes into 24 and 52? Oh, not particularly easy one, that. 4 goes into 24 6 times, 4 goes into 52, how many times? 13 times. Is there anything that goes into 6 and 13? No, there isn't. 13 is a prime number. That's as much as we can do to simplify it. Writing these fractions in the simplest form, maybe have a go at that. 3 over 6, half, 20 over 30, 2/3, 15 over 20, 5 goes into top and bottom, 3/4, 2 over 8. Really, that's all I'm expecting you to understand for this presentation. So hopefully that's been a quick bit of revision. Hopefully you understand what's gone on there, and hopefully you'll be able to do some examples for yourself. So thank you very much for your attention on that lesson, ladies and gents.